Hi guys, Pigmoon here with another video. Today, the Su30MKM. This follows on the often grounded fighter of the Indian Air Force, who has a cousin that actually suffers the same fate. Let's discuss the RMAF Su30MKM. The Su30MKM, or Sukhoi 30, wow, this long word gives me a headache. But it's the modern Nizaroni Komecheski Malaysia is the newer export version of the Su-30 fighter jet made by Sukhoi. It is considered to be the same as the MKI in the heavy fighter bomber class and the ability to carry up to 8 tons of armament or stores. And similarly to MKI, but supposedly more advanced. The Malaysian configuration at one glance makes the MKM variant the creme de la creme of the Su-30 variants, even better than the MKI. A digital flight control system together with thrust vectoring control on the same AL31FP turbofan engine makes the MKM even more capable air-to-air and air-to-ground fighter bomber. But this is where the similarity ends. The same phased array radar from Russia, plus extra long range due to high fuel capacity. MKM is able to strike long-range targets both in the south and the north of the peninsula. Thus, the base for the MKMs are based far in the north of our peninsula, Malaysia, in Kelantan, where away from the most dangerously perceived threat. So the MKI was a flying turkey that was often AOG aircraft on ground. So why is the MKM another poison chalice? Come, let's see. Number 1, same AL31FP engines. The same pair of engines that power the Su30MKI also powers the MKM. So the same real-world MTBF of the engines cripple the MKM at the same time. But the statistics for the MKM are often unreported because of stricter media controls in country. But the fact doesn't run. Engines only last about 500 hours. Titanium engine nozzle probably less. What this means is that the actual MKM hours spent on the ground is as much as a sick cousin in India, but actually no one is reported or no one knows about it. Saving grace to this is that the Malaysians actually employed the Russians in the Kelantan base from delivery of the aircraft, I think 04 to 2010. Thus, it boosts the MKM serviceability rates higher due to the higher skill levels of the Russians and as well as spares availability then when they were employed. But after they left in 2010, the same old spares issues and Su-30 engine and nozzle serviceability set stories would have restarted. Again, the same classic Russian sales tactics of extreme throttling of the spares to make money applies the same to the MKM. But then again, it seems to be less crippled due to, I guess, better terms signed when they bought the aircraft and for the fact that they had the Russian team in country for 7 years. But in the end, the RMAF still had to invest another 100 million USD to open a Sukhoi technical center, or so-called that, in the Kelantan base to avoid a similar fate as their Indian cousins. So this base was only opened, I think, late last year and bring the whole program investment to $1 billion USD. But it's still cheap in Malaysian terms, as they are huge investors in foreign technologies and funds, right? Another point to differentiate is that the EW package supplied with the MKM was actually quite different from the MKI. The broken MKI EW sensors were supplied from Israel, but in this case, the MKM used South Africa sensors, excluding the mission computer and the RWR. It thus avoided the crippling effects of the MKI EW sensor failures and allowed the MKM to have a more effective EW defensive capability than her poor cousin. So, a blessing in disguise, the MKM avoided the blinding sensor failures of the MKI, but they're still embroiled in the poor engine serviceability and maintenance time. This huge 100 million investment in the Sukhoi Technical Center will see an uplift of spares availability. Essentially, the 100 million is to secure spares train, but that remains to be seen if our dear Russian friends will put enough fast one on them. So, and unless there's a major re-engine effort, these AL31FP engines, there'll always be a lingering thought that extended operations of the fleet will be out of reach of the MKMs due to the engine limitations. And being a frontline fighter of the RMAF, if this AOG, when the crunch comes in a conflict, that will be a very big sore point. And particularly when there's insufficient numbers of these NKMs to cover the entire Peninsular Malaysia as well as the East Malaysia at the same time. Like or subscribe or add a comment at the bottom, and we can further this discussion and whether this whole thing is actually moving or not. Thanks for watching.